Energy transition. Why, you would ask? Do we need this? Well, I could explain it to you with supply and demand and how that impacts the entire value chain, but let's forget about that. Let's talk about my nephew Cohen. A few weeks ago, I went climbing a mountain with him. It was a smoggy day, and while climbing up, Cohen started to complain about how polluted the world was and how we, the old people, were to blame, and the state in which we left the world for him and his young friends. But then, on the way back, we stopped in front of a traffic light, and there was a Maserati. And Cohen almost drooled over the car. This, in essence, is what energy transition is all about. We want a clean environment, and we want wealth. We want the Maserati. Is that possible? Frankly, we have been in a similar situation about 150 years ago. After the Industrial Revolution, cities started to grow, and in cities like London and New York, for transportation, we use what? The horse. 50,000 in London, 100,000 in New York. Now think of what horses do. The enormous volumes of manure. It became such a problem that in 1894, the Times of London wrote an article saying, if this continues, in 50 years, we will have every street in London covered with 9 feet of manure. So, what happened? We invented the solution, the clean solution of the time, the internal combustion engine. The car was born, and the rest is history, you would say. That was a solution for 2 billion people. By the time I was born, there were 2.5 billion people around. And by the time Cohen will be my age, we will be probably north of 10 billion people. We need solutions that are more attractive, cleaner, better than what we have today. We need the solutions for the future. If you look at the cost of solar power, dramatically coming down to below 3 cents a kilowatt hour. Same with wind, same with batteries. We have solutions that are starting to scale up that are cheaper than coal or natural gas. Look at electric vehicles. 2 years ago, I could buy a Tesla and a few others. Now there are more than a dozen electric vehicles on the market, and by 2020, every car maker will have huge volumes of electric vehicles. Now what? Imagine you are the executive of an energy company. What do? For most of the past years, you focused on cost cutting and efficiency plays. But you cannot shrink yourself to the business models of the future. So you're probably now starting to think, we need to move further from coal to oil to gas in the same way like Shell has already done it. They're becoming a gas company. And the energy company Total will claim that their holdings in solar, biofuels and batteries are, relatively speaking, more important than their holdings in natural gas. And then, of course, there is an enormous innovation capacity. The digitalization opportunities in your companies. Platform technologies that you can pick up from other industries like artificial intelligence and robotics. But really, you want to think about the big markets for tomorrow. A few decades ago, we already started to produce fertilizer from natural gas. Now I see a company like Cargill working with Calista from California in turning natural gas into feedstock for fish farms and in the future for animals. Huge opportunity, huge big market. And so you really have to push your creativity to create the better, cleaner, more attractive products for the future, for the masses of 2050 and beyond.